Hey everyone, hope all is well. I just wanted to go over a few things about when we start to go on our healing journey or getting out of a toxic environment. Sometimes we try to do a lot of things that are unnecessary at the moment, and we want to really focus on what's needed, not what we want, but what we need at the moment. And usually that has to do with really taking time out to focus on ourselves. And if you have children, of course you got to take care of them too, but don't take on unnecessary responsibility trying to save the world, helping people beyond your capacity. You know, if you have some really needy people in your life, maybe you need to tell them that you just need some time alone, you need a break, because helping them is helping them, but it's not helping you, especially when there's drama involved. So you want to really look at the situation, and sometimes it's good to just write things down. You know, who you're spending your time with. Is this person contributing to your well-being or subtracting from it or detracting from it? And these are the things that are really important, because the way you could look at it is sometimes when we're going through a healing process, we start to just pile more things on, right? And then make these lists of things we have to do. And then all of a sudden, at the same time, we're trying to help a lot of people that are going through stuff also. But you have to really focus on yourself first, because you can't give water from an empty well, right? So just taking time and seeing what's really not necessary to take some stuff, lighten your load. That's the easiest way to think of it, lighten your load. Like Thanksgiving just passed, right? What happens when you have a full plate and you stuff yourself, right? And you force yourself to eat it all? You feel sick. You feel sick after. Some people actually go puke, or you fall asleep. So just looking at your plate, how much stuff is on it? How much stuff is unnecessary? Almost think of it like a diet, right? If somebody gives you a certain amount of food on your plate, you go, okay, thanks, I'm trying to restrict my calories. I'm gonna take some of this off and some of this off, where your plate is lighter, where you're not eating as much, where you're focusing more on yourself. So think of the things that you really need in your life right now and the things that are unnecessary. Is it necessary to go out and party? Is it necessary to spend money on unneeded things? Is it necessary to put all your energy in trying to fix the toxic people in your life, thinking that's going to make your life easier, which it never will? These are all things that really need to be looked at. And from there too, it's like, if you have some type of practices, okay, say you're meditating and you're hoping that helps you. Your meditation might help you when you're meditating, but does it help you when you're in these toxic situations or with these people that trigger you? So the way that I would even use meditation is when you sit there and you're meditating, if you notice certain things and storylines come up, do more contemplative meditation. Think about those things. What do those things do to you? How do they make you feel? What does it make your body feel? Does it create tension in your neck? Do you start to feel your heart rate elevate? Start to notice these things and then go, okay, is that how I feel, or is that what that somebody else made me feel? This is how I think about it, or somebody else put that in my mind? And start to work with those things as you're meditating. Now, that's where you start. But now when you're in that environment with those people, if you have to be around them and you have no choice, put yourself in a state of meditation where you start to notice what they say, what their energy is like, and how it's making you feel. And from there, you could start to see it and you could start to work with it and not be reactive. You don't even have to respond. Just notice how this makes you feel. So almost you're putting your meditative or meditation practice into real practice in real life, which is what it's meant to do. Because if you're always peaceful and relaxed when you're sitting quietly, but you're not around certain people and in certain situations, your meditation is not really doing much more for you. And it's supposed to be something that you could take off the cushion or off the chair or off the floor with you into the real world. So when you're meditating, try to think of what these feelings, these thoughts are are making you feel, and where do they come from? Were they something that was projected from somebody else? And start to do some deep digging with it. And then when you're around that person that might have created those feelings to begin with, then start to look at those feelings when you're in their presence and how it makes you feel. And then start to take that, and then when you're not in their presence, go, wow, that same feeling came up when I was with them. What is that? Why did I feel that way? What could I do to not feel that way? An easy thing too is not to be around those people anymore, but sometimes you don't have that choice. But you could always limit your amount of time that you're exposed to them. So don't text them all the time. Don't talk to them on the phone all the time. Don't meet up with them when you don't have to. It's like, try to create those healthy boundaries where you could start to distance yourself from them. But it's important to start to notice those things when you're around them. So also coming back to what's needed and what's not, right? What's important and what's not important. Is it important to try to please people all the time? No, of course not. You can't please everybody. And some people are going to come to you when they need you, but when you need them, they're not going to be there. So this is why you need to really drink as you pour and pour as you drink. You need to take care of yourself as you take care of other people, but you really need to take care of yourself and focus on yourself more now than ever if you're getting out of a toxic relationship. If you happen to be with somebody who's a cluster B personality disorder or anything, or even just a mean person. Some people are just mean. It's just the way that it is. So, just looking at these things, you want to lighten your load. Don't create more stuff that you have to do. Don't start taking a ton of, projects on that are don't do stuff that's going to create more stress in your life. If it's something that's enjoyable, like, I'm going to take art classes because it helps me relax, do that. Or I'm going to sit home and I'm going to journal, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that because it helps me relax. That's fine. But don't create things where now you're running around trying to make other people heal and make other people happy when you haven't accomplished that for yourself yet. So the whole focus is, it's not about, like Osho said once, he goes, you have to be selfish before you can become selfless. And selfish doesn't mean in a narcissistic way. It's like you have to really take care of yourself before you could take care of others. I notice a lot of people try to take care of other people when they haven't even worked on their healing process yet. So this is called spiritual bypassing. You're doing other things to help you forget. And this is not good because those things still exist. Whether you think about them or not, anything we've ever experienced, especially trauma-wise, lives in our cells in our body. Even if you work through it and you feel amazing, in the future, it could be somebody that's going to come along and possibly trigger them again because it's something that's just in your body, and this is what trauma is. So I'm trying to help everybody and not focus on yourself is not a way to fix things. You really need to settle down, try to get rid of responsibilities that aren't yours. Nobody said that you have to save the world. Nobody gave you that job, right? You don't have to be everybody else's everything. You don't have to be the savior. You don't have to be the enabler. You don't have to be the rescuer. You don't have to be any of these things. Nobody gave you that job. Sometimes we give ourselves that job because we want to help others because we wish somebody helped us. But the reality of it is that you need to take care of yourself first. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody else will eat. And that's one thing that we learn as we get older is like, you have to be your true soulmate. You have to love yourself unconditionally. You have to do things for yourself. And if you're in any type of relationship that's toxic or harmful, you have to focus on yourself. And especially if you do have children, you need to focus on yourself so you can be good to your children, so you don't create another generation of this type of toxic abuse, which they call intergenerational trauma. So just sometimes it's good to write stuff down, look at what's going on in your life, what's needed and is a must right now to do, and what's not. Who's the people you need in your life right now, and who's some people you need to distance yourself from. And then from there, you could actually make a plan for healing. And this is the most important thing, because what is to heal? It's to be healthy. To be healthy is to be balanced. To be balanced is whole. You're whole again, right? And this is where the word holy comes from also. So we really want to look at these things as we start our healing journey. And doing stuff for yourself on a regular basis, whether it's meditation, journaling, reading uplifting books, going to church, going to anything that helps you feel good, dance classes, it doesn't matter. That should be part of your regular routine. But also we need to look at the things that have created suffering in our life, and it's not to dwell on it, but as we're going through it, we need to work through it, not to go around it or to ignore it, because this is not going to help us heal. This is not going to help us to grow on a spiritual level, and it's not going to allow us to create or manifest the things that we want in our lives. So looking at things directly is very important in the beginning, but also don't create other burdens and carry the world on your shoulders. All right? Wishing everybody the best along their healing journey, and I will talk to you soon. Happy holidays.